Alright guys, welcome to the third game in the first match between ROOTMinigun, the Protoss player on the top, and dignitasSjow, the Terran player on the bottom. This map is MLG Xel Naga Caverns, and actually the only difference between the MLG map and the regular map that I could tell is this supply depot. Now, I'm pretty sure the supply depot is just used so that it's harder for cheeses to work, because you can't necessarily block it off. Because this helps open up pathway. So if you wanted to block it off with, say, like cannons or something, you would have to actually work around this, or maybe even kill it off before you were able to do it. You'll notice most players just leave it alone, or maybe later on in the game they just kill it just to position their own buildings around it. ROOTMinigun gonna be annoying again. I've noticed this in every match so far. He's just always using that first probe to harass with. Xjow did have to build his barracks over here instead of right next to the ramp like he wanted to. Refinery going down for Xjow. Minigun's still going to be annoying. Gateway going down for Minigun, followed by the simulator. Nothing too out of the ordinary yet. I hope you guys have watched the last two games, because I don't want to spoil anything in those games in this game. But if you haven't, you should go now, because I'm going to start talking about it. So, the last two maps were Shakur's Plateau and Metalopolis, I believe. And the series is tied 1-1. So, whoever wins this match will win their little match 2-1. And it'll also mean that overall in the series between Root and Dignitas, whoever wins, their team will be up 1-0. So a lot of pressure for these two players. The final, I believe, monetary value of the final grand finals is 10,000. I could be wrong. It might be 5,000, but it's a lot of money for their team to split up. So always looking to win. Now this is the EG Master Cup, I think it's called, and the other teams involved are all really high ranked teams, but no Korean teams. I believe it's all foreign teams like Dignitas, Root, which is now Complexity, if you guys didn't know, or most of the Root members went over to Complexity. What other teams? Six Jacks, I believe, maybe Vile. I'm not 100% sure of the teams. I just briefly looked over the replays, but I noticed that none of them were foreign. No OGS, no Slayers, none of that. This is basically like the GSTL. If you guys don't know what that is, the Global StarCraft Team League, which is the Korean version of their team battle. This is basically it, but with a 2v2. Xjow going for that fast expand again. He really likes that. Meanwhile, ROOTMinigun is going for the 3-gate. Probably will throw down his Expo. 3-gate Expo. Pretty standard. Gonna try to put some aggression in with this Stalker, but he probably saw the Expo. No, he did not. But I think he'll probably back off. Forward pylon in position, but probably will be ignored until a later game. Warp Gate has finished. 60 Chrono Boosts left on the Nexus, so we should be seeing maybe Chrono Boosted probes coming out. Shows Orbital Command coming out. Maybe a bunker thrown down. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't think Xjow knows about this Expo either. No, he doesn't. Marauder Marines, pretty standard when you're playing against Protoss. You always want to get that bio. concussive shells. The reason Show gets, or Terran players get concussive shell first, is not only does it help slow down zealots and help the micro in early game, but it's also, I think it's the fastest of the upgrades, of these upgrades, and it costs the least. It's 50-50, I believe. Another gas going down for minigun. His nexus is up. Gonna put a couple supply depots back here just to prevent any DTs running in or any type of harass in the back. We'll probably see the same from minigun. Maybe put a Twilight Council or something back there. I like Show's I like his path route when he's scouting. He's always scouting this base and then going around the back for his first SCV and his second SCV. So that's pretty nice. Because you don't want to get caught off guard if your opponent maybe went for a quick double expand. Observer coming in. Colossus on the way with the Robo Bay down. Should raise this, but probably won't for now. Looks like Show's gonna see the pylon. Gonna kill it off. Supply right now is heavily in Show's favor. Minigun a little behind in his macro, but he is ahead in harvesters by a whole 8. So if he can hold off this first push, he should be in a good position. Sentries are full of energy, but he has no units that actually deal a lot of damage. First Colossus is out. If he traps, one thing that Protoss players can do in, say, like an area like this, is put in a front layer of a wall of force fields, and then in the back put in a second layer. So your units can attack his units, and he's just going to let his Colossus do damage. But it looks like, caught off guard, these units wasted their stim, and they're going to pull back. Pretty nice force fields by minigun. But honestly, if Show wanted to try to do some pressure or damage, he could have run up here and maybe killed a couple probes. But he's just going to back off and let his tech come up. He does have medevacs probably on the way soon. It depends. We'll see. Breaking down the middle rocks. And it looks like minigun's going to press forward with his own units. I kind of don't agree with this because he only has 2 sentries full of force fields. I believe if Show's units do get this round, they could handle that army easily. And it looks like Show's gonna back off. Show does have units running around the whole map, seeing when the expos are coming down. Minigun just cranking out those Colossus. He's up to 5 gates and 1 robo facility. Meanwhile, Show's on 4 barracks and 1 reactored starport. Probably gonna put a reactor on this. Not 100% sure. 2 more barracks do go down. Actually, it's a pretty interesting discussion. I was talking to my friend, and he doesn't like putting any add-ons instead of reactors, because reactors just take so long to build. He'd rather just build another barracks and just, instead of building like a reactor, which I guess kind of makes sense, but in the long run, I think you'd rather want those minerals to go to units when you could just spend 50 gas instead. But early game, you would rather have units, so getting a reactor early game is actually kind of risky. Looks like minigun moving down. All of his sentries have a lot of energy. He is getting his 3rd at the gold. Show is a little behind. Doesn't even have a command center on the way. But Show is pumping units. No engineering. Oh yeah, engineering bay down here. I guess he has +1/+1. No, only attack, and then his armor's coming up. Minigun is about to have ground weapons finishing. 1 Viking, not going to do too much damage. A lot of SCVs in here. I don't know what the point of the SCVs were. Minigun is forced to back out. A lot of SCVs still going down. A lot of Show's units are not doing anything. He should just go up here and attack from this side and try to break this expansion. He can't let Minigun have that expansion. Minigun still has a lot of energy on these sentries. A lot of force fields probably gonna go down. Nice force fields. Look at these Colossus just doing a ton of damage. Wow. I definitely think those engagements went into Minigun's favor. He is ahead in supply now. Just those force fields did so much against Show's army. But the thing is, if Show just keeps on producing Vikings and gets a large amount, he should be okay. Ooh, more force fields trapping in units. And I say that because Minigun's ground force really isn't too strong besides these Colossus. I don't believe he even has Blink or Charge yet. But the Colossus are doing a lot of damage. A lot of kills on these Colossus. 17 on one of them. Wow. I still don't understand why Show's sacrificing all these SCVs. Does he consider this an all-in? I don't understand. And it looks like Minigun's just gonna rip through Show's army. Wow. Definitely not good. Looking good for Show. I think. Yeah. All right. So Root Minigun does take the first match for Root side. If you actually look at the EG Masters Cup webpage, I believe that the team that was Root changed the name to Complexity. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't see Root in the EG Masters Cup's database anymore. And I do see Complexity, so... And because the grand finals, or the finals are coming up soon, I think they just switched the name from Root to Complexity. Well, I hope you guys like it. I'm planning on casting the rest of the whole Root Dignitas series over this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. Barney signing off.